Actually, there's a little Wrath video I wanted to watch, actually. I saw this video, and I kind of wanted to watch it. It's talking about some of the best trinkets of Wrath. Honestly,
massive items and cause drama, hard reserves.
Sorry, I accidentally clicked play. Sorry, I wasn't done talking. Jesus, I misclicked the button. I haven't played Wrath since back in the day. I know a lot of people have been playing Warmain. They were playing private servers for Wrath and stuff like that. I actually have not. So my remembrance and my memory goes from back in the day, right? So like I remember having Deathbringer's Will and stuff like that, but I don't really remember a lot of the stuff that is really good. Scottejaye made a video here about the Phase 1 Wrath trinkets, so we're gonna peep this out. I think there's a lot of Dark Moon cards that are really good, right? But let's look at this video here, guys. What's up, Lakisa? Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, chat. I think I'm gonna main my rogue, guys. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna main for Wrath, but I'm looking at... I kind of want to main the rogue, but I guess we'll see. We'll see.
Wrath of the Lich King brings tons of new items, and with every new phase of content in any expansion ever in WoW, the trinkets are always massive items and cause drama, hard reserves in pugs, and big prices in GDKP runs.
Oh god.
What are those trinkets?
What do you guys... Gold DKPs, man. Dude, with how the prices are right now in TBC and gold DKPs, bro, like, it's gonna be ridiculous, man. Like, holy cow.
In tier 7 going to be. But before we get on to what those trinkets are going to be, let's look at some good trinkets that you're going to want before you worry about trying to get the big trinkets. There's quite a few trinkets people are going to be trying to get before even stepping foot in Nax. Let's look at those first. For 40 Emblems of Justice, which is the currency you obtain from Heroics, you can get which outside of professions will likely be your first epic trinket. The caster version is called Sundial of the Exile, which gives you 84 crit rate.
Crit? And then increase your spell 590? Gee, I forgot how big of a power creep Wrath is.
And your harmful spells have a chance to increase your spell power by 590.
Jeez.
That's for 10 seconds. The melee version is called Mirror of Truth, which improves your critical strike rating by 84. And chance on melee and range critical strikes increase your attack power by 1,000 for 10 seconds. The healing version is called the Egg of Mortal Essence, which increases your spell power by 98. And it gives your direct healing and heal over time spells a chance to increase your haste rating by 505 for 10 seconds. And
dude, imagine if that was for casters, man. If they got the haste, that would be bonkers.
Finally, the tank trinket, which isn't amazing, but it's still half decent, which increases your dodge rating by 84, with a usability that increases dodge rating by a further 335 for 20 seconds on a 2
No, it was healing. It was healing abilities, right? Stuff like that.
Cooldown. There's also some noteworthy trinkets that come from professions, such...
I remember that! Dude, sorry. I'm like getting a little... Dude, I remember this crap, man. Tanks had that. I remember back in the day. This crab was really good because you had 2 sockets in it. There was stamina. It was a good crab. This was good.
Just dual crafting.
Yeah.
Monarch crab for tanks early on is going to be great, giving you 63 stamina and 2 extra sockets to put even more stamina on.
That's
and
a good
you do
trinket.
actually get a usability on it that increases dodge rating by 300 for 10 seconds, and it's only on a 1-minute cooldown. You also get the Ruby Hair, which has got 62 stamina with 2 sockets, where you can, again, get even more stamina. And this one on use increases your speed by 30% for 6 seconds on a 3-minute cooldown. And Sapphire Owl is definitely worth a mention as well. It's only really going to be your Holy Paladins that are going to want this, but with 42 intellect and another 2 sockets for even more intellect, it's a really, really good trinket for Holy Paladins. And on use, you can restore 2.3k mana over 12 seconds as well on a 5-minute cooldown. So you can basically say that this trinket gives you an extra 2.3k maximum mana every single boss fight. There's a couple from Heroic Dungeons as well that people are definitely going to be wanting to get pretty quick, such as from Violet Hold Heroic, the final boss drops Mark of the War Prisoner, which improves your hit rating by 73 and on use increases spell power by 346. Now, the reason this is particularly good is because obviously getting hit capped as a caster, well, as any DPS, is super important, but being able to control the proc and use it with all your other cooldowns.
Dude, I didn't expect him to swap to this camera. This is
it is a really strong blue trinket. To say it only comes from a Heroic. And then exactly the same, but for the melee this time, getting...
Ooh, 55 hit rating, attack power by 607. That is so much attack power, man. The power creep in Wrath is ridiculous, man. Didn't people have like 50k health by the end of Wrath, like a crazy amount?
Hit rating and on use increasing your attack power by 670 for 20 seconds on a 2-minute cooldown. You've got Sphere of the Red Dragon's Blood, which comes from Kerastraza, which is the final boss in the Nexus Heroic.
50K.
There are other trinkets from Professions and from Dungeons, but they're the ones that
Druid tanks had like 80k? What? What?
I feel are really particularly powerful. You could say the Alchemy trinket, which is particularly very good for Resto Druids, or even the Meteorite Whetstone, which comes from Utgard Pinnacle. But as I say, the ones we've hit on, particularly strong. Now, before we even get into Tier 7, one of the most obvious trinkets, which is going to cost a pretty penny, is Dark Moon Card Greatness.
Yeah,
it may not come from a raid, but it's going to be heavily sought after by so many classes. Ferals, Rogues, Warriors, Holy Paladin.
I'm gonna get this one, man. I'm gonna be world first Dark Moon Card Greatness for sure. I'm gonna pop off. Everybody's gonna want me, man. It's gonna be crazy. All right.
Ret Paladins, DKs, Hunters. Yeah, you get it.
What's up,
pretty
Greg?
much everyone. And that's because being BIS for multiple phases, for multiple classes, is going to make this one of the most expensive things on the auction house for quite some time. For those of you that don't know, this comes from combining all the Noble cards from Inscription to create the Nobles deck. You then hand this deck in at Dark Moon Fair when it comes round and pick which version of the trinket you want. Stepping foot into your first raids being 10-man Nax, you're not going to see...
Yeah, it's Nax. I completely forgot. The first phase of Wrath is Nax. Oh my god. You know what's gonna be dope though, guys? We get me and all of y'all, we're gonna be doing 10-man viewer raids, achievement runs. Alright, we're gonna be doing achievement runs with the boys from chat, man. It's actually gonna be so fun. I am so hyped for that. It's gonna be so dope, man. God damn it, it's gonna be good.
See a great deal of drama around Embrace of the Spider, but as an early on trinket giving spell power and a ton of haste on proc, you can definitely expect to see casters hard reserve in this, forming their pugs in Nax 10. The reason this makes it on the list is because unlike 25-man, where the trinkets that we're about to look at from Nax drop from multiple bosses, you will only be able to get Embrace of the Spider from Mayexna in the Arachnid Quarter, so you get one shot a week at it, and that's it. Like I said, expect hard reserves. Sarfarian in the Obsidian Sanctum drops two of the most sought-after trinkets, one for melee, one for range. The melee one being Fury of the Five Flies.
Oh, I remember this. I really wanted this, but I didn't get it back in the day. Yeah, this is good.
Which each time you deal melee or range damage to an opponent, you gain 16 attack power for 10 seconds, and this stacks up to 20 times. This is extremely strong for many melee classes. And then Illustration of the Dragon Soul for the casters, which each time you cast a damaging or healing spell, you gain 20 spell power for the next 10 seconds, and this stacks 10 times. So you're going to get 200 spell power from this, which is quite literally the most static amount of spell power, because let's face it, once you start attacking, you build it up, then it's static. So you've got a bit of ramp-up time until that point, but it's definitely got the most spell power on in Tier 7. And then venturing into Nax 25, you're going to have Dying Curse, Forethought Talisman, and Grim Toll. All of these...
Oh, immediate attacks have a chance to increase your armor pin. Oh yeah, it's raiding in Wrath. This one is dope. I want this one. Oh, that's nice.
I reckon you better
TGA!
These balls.
Thank you for the 4 months, TGA. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's a nice trinket. Thank you for the 4 months, TGA. Thank you. Welcome.
These have a chance of dropping from Grobulus, Mayexna, Gothic the Harvester, and Hygen the Unclean. All of these for specific classes are really strong. Starting with Forethought Talisman, most healers are going to want this. Holy Paladins are an exception to the rule because they'll be going for things like the JC trinket and Dark Moon Card Greatness to get as much intellect as physically possible. But everyone else will happily take the 111 bonus healing and a chance for a hot on the target that you're healing at the time. In Tier 7...
Okay, what is the new DST in Wrath? As I said, I can't remember a lot of the BIS items. If you're talking about physical damage, like the best trinket, Deathbringer's Will is like the trinket you want, but that's an ICC. But that is like the juiciest of the juicy trinkets. Deathbringer's Will is freaking insane. I had that on my warrior back in the day, and I was like, oh, I lost, dude. I did when it procced, man. Oh, it is so much damage, dude. I love that. It was so good. So that's a really big item. Runestone. I don't know what Runestone is. STS. I don't know what that is actually. Maybe I know if you know, but yeah, I don't know that one. Deathbringer's Will though is huge. At least for warrior and rogues, and I think for hunters as well. Actually, Sharpened Twilight Scale. Oh, that's from Ruby Sanctum. Well, in my book, Ruby Sanctum is not a real God damn it. I hated Ruby Sanctum back in the day. But I mean, I'll probably do Ruby Sanctum this time around, right? And then we'll see. Ruby Sanctum is the raid after ICC. It's the final raid of Wrath. I never did Ruby Sanctum back in the day, though.
7, there isn't any other trinket that gives as much static bonus healing outside of Illustration of the Dragon Soul, which most DPS are going to probably get before healers. So needless to say, people are going to be fighting for this one. The same applies for casters when it comes to Dying Curse. We all know how much of a pain it can be to get capped, so getting a trinket with so much hit on this early on in the game and having a massive 765 spell power proc for 10 seconds is huge. I can't think of a single caster class that wouldn't want to get their hands on this, so expect it to be very contested. Whereas Grim Toll is a bit of a strange one. As most of you may know, Armor Pen is one of those stats that gets stronger the more of it that you get. And because there isn't massive amounts of Armor Pen in tier 7, it really shouldn't be heavily contested. Don't get me wrong, it's still amazing for warriors, feral, combat rogues, marksman hunters, or even frost DKs, as an example. But it will be more...
There's like every class that could use it, really.
...about the hit. Going into tier 8 with it for people wanting to stack their Armor Pen in the...
Dude, I'm so hyped for this raid, man. Ulduar, man. Oh my gosh.
Tier 8
That's going to be so fun to do.
Will be important. But I would hope by the time tier 8 comes out, most of your melee will have a Grim Toll either equipped or in the bank anyway. There are a few trinkets from Sapphiron as well, but honestly, none of them are that mind-blowingly amazing, and you shouldn't expect much competition on them. The only slight exception would be Bandit's Insignia, because it does have a decent amount of attack power on it. It's just a shame about the proc.
Your melee and attack have a chance to strike your enemy, dealing 50... Oh, that's a really weird thing. If this had a high proc rate, it would be really broken if you have a lot of attack speed, right? I mean, if it had a really high proc rate, but it's probably really bad proc rate.
There's a couple of trinkets that drop from Malagos, but really the only one worth even worrying about is Mark of Norgannon, which gives you 69 expertise and on use, increasing your haste by 491. This could be particularly good for the likes of Enhancement Shamans or even Rep Paladins, but I honestly wouldn't expect much competition on it. Now, while we're still talking about trinkets, I want to leave you with one more. It doesn't come from a dungeon, a profession, or even a raid. It's actually a reputation, and the reputation is the Oracles. Now, the Oracle Talisman that you can get exalted with the Oracles, these are in Sholazar Basin, and you'll do dailies.
The only reason I leveled Oracle Rep back in the day, because I wanted the Green Brodo Drake. Because you can get like an egg that like hatches every 3 days, or like it hatches after 3 days, and you can have like a Proto Drake in it. I never got it, but yeah.
To get reputation with them. Whilst it's not useful in raids, this is quite literally the best farming trinket for any class, and if we get it like it was in original Wrath of the Lich King, they're not unique, so you can actually equip 2 of these, giving you around 3% crit, and every kill while you're out grinding or farming, or even potentially leveling in whatever comes after Wrath of the Lich King, will restore 5% mana, rage, energy, or runic power when you kill a target that grants honor or experience. So needless...
I mean, maybe that is really good. I don't know. I feel like it's, to
say, if you're AoE grinding, if you're single target farming as a level worker and Skinner, or whatever you're doing, these...
I feel like 5% is like very, very little. Like for rage and energy and runic power, that's like really... For mana, that's huge, right? Like for mana, that's really good. 5% mana per kill. Because if you're a mage and you kill like 20 mobs, you get like 100% mana, right? But...
Did I ask?
No, I guess you didn't.
Huh?
Yeah, I guess it adds up, but like I feel like this will only really be good for caster classes, like for mana stuff, right? For mages and stuff, but it's like getting like 5% energy, that's like not even one energy tick, right? I don't know.
Are the best trinkets to physically have equipped whilst farming. And I honestly think everyone who intends on going out and even just doing dailies or farming for Eternals or anything like that definitely should get 2 of the Oracle trinkets in the bank, because they are really, really strong. And that's it. That's a quick look into all of the tier 7 trinkets that I think are worth talking about. There are some others, don't get me wrong. Make sure you like and subscribe for lots more videos. There's going to be some big ones coming over the next week or so. I'm working on them in the background. Hopefully after the weekend I'll start releasing them. It's going to be all about gearing guides, routes to 80, and so much more. So smash that subscribe button, roll the outro. There's lots of ways you can support the channel to keep me here putting out World of Warcraft content and covering all future MMOs. Consider joining the channel as a member. You get access to emotes. Everyone will know you're a member when you comment on future videos, because you get a nice icon next to your name. And you get access to members-only videos, which I'll be putting a lot of on the channel throughout the year. Additionally, there's a Patreon link in the description as well. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you on the next one.
Okay, stop, relax. Good video.
The trinket.
Nice. Okay. I mean, it's kind of interesting because like a lot of these things, I kind of just forget about honestly because I haven't really played it since back in the day, right? So it's gonna be new. And that's also why a big reason why I didn't want to like play a bunch of private servers and like play Warmane and stuff like that because I want to have it be like a genuine experience when I play Wrath Classic, right? I think it's gonna be dope, and I'm actually really hyped for it. I'll give it a link in the chat, boys. If you guys wanna give it the video a little like, go support Scottejaye. There it is. There it is.